Welcome to the walkthrough of the frequently made mistakes for assignment 1A. A couple things to start out with. First, please make sure to document your code. It's not enough to acknowledge the fact that I provided you with some specifications. You need to document all your methods and show what they're doing, in particular the methods that are the stream methods. Also, please make sure to run the unit tests. There are lots of problems that people seem to miss that should have been caught by running the unit tests. So make sure you run the unit tests in the Gradle tab, and if you have problems, rectify them and or come to office hours and get help. So with that as a background, let's dive into some of the problems I saw with different methods, starting with perform crawl. So first of all, please make sure you chain all these operations together using the so-called fluent interface pattern. That's one of the beauties of using streams. So there's a couple of issues here, leaving aside the lack of chaining. This particular example is using the wrong method here. Take a look at the sequential loops crawler.java implementation. You'll see there's a different method that's used here. It's the put if absent method as opposed to the contains method. And the main reason we use put if absent is it's thread safe. That'll become very important for upcoming assignments. Down here, please also use the combination of find first followed by or else instead of using reduce. Just a little bit cleaner way of doing things. Let's continue on. Take a look at another problem with perform crawl. This particular code won't compile because there's a syntax error here. You've got to actually provide the collector that's going to be used to collect the elements together. And for some strange reason, there was sort of two return statements, which didn't make any sense. And you don't want to be doing crawl page here at this point. So a lot of problems. That needs to be done up here with map. Let's look at yet another problem with perform crawl. So in this case, the condition expression is incorrect. You want to filter things so that they pass if they're true, they get through the filter. And this has the check that's negated incorrectly. Again, please make sure you chain all the operations together using the fluent interface pattern. This particular implementation is too complicated. There's no need to do is present and so on. Simply use the find first dot or else little sequence of stream operators and optional operators. Now we're transitioning to another method, the crawl page method. This is just too complicated. There's no need to do all this stuff here. You can make it a lot simpler, and that will help to make the code a little cleaner. Down here, crawl page. This particular example, you need to make sure that you check to see whether the result from get page is null or not before proceeding. So make sure you make that check. Otherwise, your code will blow up when the unit tests run and they deliberately insert null results. Also, please don't use the one element array hack here. We did that in other contexts for various reasons, but it's much cleaner to use map to int and sum as we discuss in the video in class. So go back and watch the video about map to int and sum from a week or so ago, and you can see how those things get used. So that's a much cleaner way to go. Another problem we're going to have here, which we're going to talk about, if you do it like this, there's no terminal operation. So there's no terminal operation. And so this stream won't run, which of course you don't want to have that. You want the stream to run. So that'll be another problem that will cause this code to not work. Yet again, another reason why you should be using unit tests to see what's going on. Down here, we see another problem. You need to make sure that you check to see if the code is returned null. And if you have, then you want to kind of bail out. And so make sure that you handle that case. And again, please use map to int instead of map, and please use sum instead of reduce. And I think the unit test should catch that, but if they don't, please try to go with that solution. It's a little bit cleaner. We're now getting ready to talk about the other method, the third method that's part of this assignment, which is process image. Again, here, make sure to check whether the image that's returned from get or download image is null before you go any further. Once again, please don't use this kind of one element array hack. Instead, use the count terminal operation at the end of the stream. And this stream has no terminal operation as it's currently defined, so this stream will not run. So there's a whole bunch of different problems here with this code. Could be cleaned up quite a bit. This following observation isn't really a mistake. It's just something that could be cleaned up quite a bit to make it more concise and readable. So I recommend not using the open curly brace if blah, blah, return true, else return false style of statement-based programming with lambda expressions, and instead just use a conditional expression, which will clean this code up quite a bit and make it a lot less syntactically dense. Down here, please don't use map to int followed by reduce. That's a clever solution, by the way, but it's much cleaner to just use count. So count is what you want to do. And then let's see, this looks like the final mistake that I saw that a couple people had problems with. This code is incomplete and therefore incorrect since the transform is actually not being applied to the image. So we're creating a new image if it's not already cached, but then we're not transforming it. So as a result, the results of the program won't be what are expected. So make sure that you apply the transform in the appropriate way. So those are the frequently made mistakes that I found for assignment 1A. Please make sure that you fix these mistakes before you proceed on to assignment 1B, which will be released shortly. Assignment 1B will redo some of the implementations here using parallel streams instead of streams, and also using streams more consistently throughout. It should be a pretty straightforward assignment, but it'll give you a chance to try some new operations in streams and also get some experience with parallel streams. But first, make sure you get assignment 1A working properly.